My name is Jims Andrews, that's my full name. I live here in Delhi, and right now we are here at the Ashram Orphanage, which is a home for abandoned and orphaned children. And the Ashram Orphanage was started in 1998. That's when we got registered, and since then we've had more than 450 kids pass through our orphanage, and have a better life.
Run back to him, run back to those struggles.
Years ago, I dreamt about doing a film in India. I thought about my adopted sister and her once home being brought into a strange building with new people. Years became months and months became days until I found myself there in that building, capturing the life of Indian orphans.
Kids come to us through different ways. Most of the children come to us through the police. Basically, children are abandoned on the streets or they are lost. And sometimes when a mother wants to abandon a child, they wrap the girl child in a blanket and leave them by the roadside. And somebody finds the child, calls the police. The police then brings the child over to us. Most of these cases are cases where the children are abandoned. But every now and then, children are lost in the crowd. In Delhi is a fast-growing city. Thousands of people are thronging to Delhi for better opportunities and a better living every single day. And in the process, children, leave their parents' hands, get lost in the railway station, bus stations, and when somebody in the public finds a crying child, they take them to the police, and the police brings them to us.
But it's quite moving to come back here, and as you're going to see in the footage, I guess you won't pick this up in the footage. It's more something you feel when you're here, that this is a family, and that these children are not just poor Indian kids. Each of these children came from a family. They were lost, they were abandoned, they were unwanted, but there's a real story behind every single child here.
There are different ways in which a child comes into the Ashram orphanage. Most of the children come in through the police. When the police finds a child on the road, they bring the child to the Ashram orphanage. The second means in which a child comes to the orphanage is through the hospitals. Sometimes mothers, they deliver their babies, and unfortunately they are left there. And so that is the second way. The third is through relinquishment, especially through unwed mothers or parents who don't want to have another girl child at home.
India is definitely an emerging economy. It's a booming economy, and India has recorded 7 to 8% GDP growth consistently for many years now. $1.2 billion people, and 70% of them live in rural India. Only 30% of India's population live in the cities, and all the wealth is in the cities. The world's greatest percentage of malnourished children live in India. It will take probably this kind of sustained growth for another 50 years before the wealth trickles down to the poorest of the poor in the nation. So the needs are huge, and so when you hear on television and advertisement about India is this, the emerging economy, the giant this, that and all, the reality out here is quite different.
day at the Ashram orphanage, I think, is pretty much what is our own kids' day at home. We try our best to make sure that the children have a normal life and they feel that they are at home. A child would wake up maybe at about 6 o'clock. They brush, they wash, and of course they get ready for the day. Start off with breakfast. And after breakfast is done, when one of the staff come in, they all gather together and we try to have a devotional. This devotional, we do teach them a little bit about God so that they understand the concept of praying. Then the day starts pretty much with schooling. We have few kids, about 8 of them who go to a special needs school and some to a regular school. For the children who don't go to a formal school, we have a teacher who teaches them 5 days a week for about 3 hours. We break their school time depending on the age group and depending on the needs. Kids, of course, they play, they watch, they have some activities. The toddlers have a short nap time. 7 o'clock is dinner. And after dinner is wash up, brush, and they go to bed. So I guess that's pretty much the day of every child in an orphanage.
What else can I mention? I would say make a plan to come to visit. And I would urge anyone seeing this video to consider coming over, serving over here, and experiencing a brand new culture, which is not so different from our own.
You step out on the streets of Delhi, you will see at any given day, you will bump into 50 to 100 kids who need the kind of care that we are giving here. And if only we had much more, what all could we do?